Welcome to another section of our Friday chat. This is Friday chat with JMK. This is 3 p.m. Nigerian time. We always have this program every Friday by 3 p.m. We even thank God for giving us consistency. Over the years we've been so consistent on this Friday chat. Welcome everybody. Good afternoon YouTube. Good afternoon TikTok. Good afternoon Facebook. And I'm so glad to have you guys around once again. Please, as you're joining me, help me to like, love, and share. My Facebook guys, as you're watching, as you're joining, please help me to click on the love and like button. TikTok guys, we've been here for like 20 minutes. Yeah, I do, connect the TikTok guys even before the Facebook and YouTube. That's how I've always been. Facebook guys have started seeing us. Please help me to like, love, and share. YouTube guys, help me and share that link. Say, Enyara YouTube me. Honestly, one day I will intentionally come live on YouTube alone. Nìkan tí màá kàn tẹ̀ wá wo ẹ̀yin YouTube audience mi. A lot of people used to say that I do focus on Facebook and TikTok guys, but it's not like that. Mr. Kolawole, you said consistent is a gift. Yeah, it is a gift, and we thank God. We thank God for our consistency. We thank God for giving us that grace. So, ẹ káàsán ní Nàìjíríà, ẹ káàsán ní London, ẹ káàárọ̀ l'Amẹ́ríkà. Torí àwọn ará Amẹ́ríkà wọ́n wà níbi aago mẹ́wàá báyìí, because a ti wà ní 5 hours ahead of America. So, and all other people from other countries, ẹ káàbọ̀. If you are just joining us, you are welcome. This is Friday Chats with JMK, and of course every weekend Lamani program, because of the fact that everyone has a busy schedule during the week, even I myself. So Monday through Friday kì í sábà ṣe live stream. So gbogbo àwọn program wa weekend la máa ń ṣe, which is Friday, Saturday and Sunday. So Friday báyìí a ní Friday chat. Friday chat wa dẹ̀ máa make up of interactions, discussions, different topics, advertisements, mind expression, call-in show, and so on and so forth. So nǹkan tá a máa ń ṣe ní Friday chat yẹn, bóyá tá a bá ti ní àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ kan àbómi tá a ti sọ láàrin ọ̀sẹ̀ tí bóyá ẹnìkan ní different opinion or different maybe addition or contribution, then on this Friday chat we have time for it. One, it depends on the state in America. Okay. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ̀yin ará Facebook, ẹ jẹ́ n rọ́wọ́ yín ní comment section, ẹ dẹ̀ bá mi like, kẹ́ love, kẹ́ share. Yeah, TikTok, àwa tá bá gift mi, ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ jẹ́ á máa bá mi power tap o. Tẹ́ bá ṣe ń tap yẹn, people will be notified. TikTok wọ́n máa notify àwọn èèyàn. Báyé wọ̀ Bámidélé Promise on Facebook. Ẹ káàsán, thank you for joining me. And one thing I have noticed in some of our live stream is that kò ń ṣe the kind of people or the number of people tá a bá ní in the very day tá a bá ṣe show yẹn, kò ń ṣe the same set of people yẹn náà la máa ní the following week. Though there are people who are very, very consistent on our live stream. Tó ṣe pé every Friday they join us, Saturday and Sunday they also join us. But you know that Ọlọ́run nìkan lọ́ba onídéédé. Àwọn míì wà bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn tó jẹ́ pé bóyá tó bá fi máa di next week yẹn wọ́n lè má wà off níbi iṣẹ́. I intentionally put this on 3 p.m. Nigerian time because I know that our Muslim friends will have left the mosque, and at the same time àwọn tó bá lọ bí iṣẹ́ náà wọ́n á ti máa round up. Tó bá já àárọ̀ ni people might not be able to have time. So, and this is how we have always been doing it, and God has been faithful. So we thank God. Kó tó di pé a máa bẹ̀rẹ̀ ètò, mo fẹ́ rán wa létí iléeṣẹ́ Ọ̀yọ́ Model Alternative Therapy. Ọ̀yọ́ Model Alternative Therapy, iléeṣẹ́ tí wọ́n jẹ́ gbajúgbajà nínú káta àgbo ká sì ṣe àwọn tewétegbò fún ìtọ́jú ara, yálà bóyá àwọn àrùn ilé ìgbọ̀nsẹ̀ àbí àwọn àrùn ìbálòpọ̀ àbí àwọn nǹkan kan tàbí òmíì tó ń fa ìdíwọ́ àti ìdènà fún ọmọ bíbí fún obìnrin àti fún ọkùnrin, tàbí nǹkan tó ń fa ìdákọ́lẹ̀ fún ọkùnrin. Àwọn ọkùnrin míì wà tó jẹ́ pé ọmọdé ni wọ́n ṣùgbọ́n ara wọn ò le mọ́, bóyá due to àrùn àbí due to àìsàn ara. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni àwọn míì wà tí wọ́n ti gbìyànjú oògùn òyìnbó tí ò ṣiṣẹ́. Ẹ jẹ́ ká kàn sí iléeṣẹ́ Ọ̀yọ́ Model Alternative Therapy. Gbogbo àwọn àgbo wọn pátápátá organic ni, kò sí chemical ń bẹ̀, tewétegbò ni àwọn àgbo tí wọ́n kì pẹ̀lú àwọn nǹkan tó jẹ́ pé ó wúlò tó máa mú kí ara wa kó ní àlàáfíà. Àwọn obìnrin míì wà tán ní ẹ̀dà, àwọn obìnrin míì wà tó jẹ́ pé wọ́n ní ìju, àwọn obìnrin míì wà tán máa ń ní òórùn tí ò dáa tó máa ń jáde láti ara wọn. A dẹ̀ máa ń sọ wípé gbogbo àwọn nǹkan báyìí ó máa ń fa àwọn kùdìẹ̀kudiẹ tó jẹ́ pé obìnrin yẹn gan ò ní ní confidence nínú ara rẹ̀. So oríṣiríṣi àwọn nǹkan tí bá ń ṣe wá tó wà ní ìbámu pẹ̀lú àgọ́ ara wa, ẹ já kàn sí iléeṣẹ́ Ọ̀yọ́ Model Alternative Therapy. Wọ́n ti wà lórí Facebook pẹ̀lú wa, so ẹ jẹ́ n try láti pin message yẹn. Mr. Ọlákúnlé, thank you for the admin. Ẹ ṣé gan. Mo fẹ́ pin message. Okay, mo ti pin ẹ̀. Wow, bàbá Ọ̀yọ́ Model, thank you for the roses. So Ọ̀yọ́ Model Alternative Therapy tí mò ń sọ̀rọ̀ wọn lọ́wọ́ fún àwa tá a wà lórí TikTok, àwọn náà rán roses fún mi lọ́wọ́ ní TikTok yìí. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ já tẹ̀lé wọn straight bẹ́yẹn, ẹ já tẹ̀lé wọn. Mo ti pin wọn sí orí Facebook, àwọn náà dẹ̀ fún mi gift lọ́wọ́ báyìí ní orí TikTok. Ẹ ṣeun gan bàbá, thank you for the roses, God bless you, ẹ kú ìnáwó. So ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ já kàn sí wọn, gbogbo àwa tá a bá nílò àgbo fún ìtọ́jú ara wa. Kódà tá a bá sí ní Nàìjíríà gan, Ọ̀yọ́ Model wọ́n ń tajà outside the country. Àwa tá a wà UK, US, Canada, Dubai, different parts of the country or different part of the world, ó ní a ti lè jẹ àǹfààní àwọn àgbo tí ó ń jáde láti iléeṣẹ́ Ọ̀yọ́ Model Alternative Therapy. Ẹ ṣé gan bàbá, ẹ ṣé, thank you for àwọn roses yẹn. Ẹ ṣé gan. Mo ti pin àkáǹtì wọn sí orí TikTok. Àwa tá a wà lórí TikTok àti ẹ̀pọ̀ dáadáa a ṣe pọ̀ lórí Facebook ju TikTok lọ. Mí ìpa àṣẹ wọlé ni. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ bá mi like, ẹ bá mi love, ẹ bá mi share. So gbogbo àwọn nǹkan tí àgbo wọn ń ṣiṣẹ́ fún náà ti pin fún wa yẹn. Jẹ̀díjẹ̀dí, flusher, waist pain, back pain, waist pain, hypertension, diabetes, infection, infertility, oríṣiríṣi ni. Ẹ já kàn sí wọn. Tá bá ti lọ bá wọn lórí WhatsApp, ṣé mọ̀ pé lómi wà tó jẹ́ pé wọ́n like kéyìn ò mọ̀ ṣàlàyé wọn ní orí afẹ́fẹ́. Of course everybody, even me, I love my privacy. Ọlọ́run kàn ní màmá ṣe social media work ni. When it comes to privacy, I always love to be private about certain things about my life. So ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ má jẹ́ kí á máa ṣe repetition. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ já pé iléeṣẹ́ Ọ̀yọ́ Model Alternative Therapy tàbí ká kàn sí wọn ní orí WhatsApp 080 68 22 0707 080 68 22 0707. Iléeṣẹ́ Ọ̀yọ́ Model Alternative Therapy la já sí. Àwa tá a bá sì fẹ́ bá wọn ṣe alágbàtà fún àwọn ọjà wọn, ṣé mọ̀ pé ọjà téèyàn bá ń tà tó wà effective, tó ń ṣiṣẹ́, táwọn èèyàn ń lò, tó ń ṣiṣẹ́ fún wọn, àwa tá a bá rà gan pa fẹ́ mọ́ tà, àwa náà tètè mọ́ tà tán, á tètè mọ́ rérè tiwa, á tètè mọ́ tó order fún mi. Ṣóyá báwọn ẹ jọ̀ọ́ nítorí Ọlọ́run, ẹ jẹ́ ká kàn sí iléeṣẹ́ Ọ̀yọ́ Model Alternative Therapy. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni iléeṣẹ́ Landless Homes and Properties, gbogbo àwọn olóríire tá a fẹ́ ralẹ̀ ní Èkó, ní Ìbàdàn, anílẹ̀ káàkiri, anílẹ̀ ní Arúlógún Ọjọ́, anílẹ̀ ní Morayo Residence Extension nìbàdàn, anílẹ̀ ní Èkó, anílẹ̀ ní Lagos Island, gbogbo ilẹ̀ Ìkòròdú tó wà ní iléeṣẹ́ Landless Homes and Properties, gbogbo ẹ̀ ló ti tán. Ìyẹn wà ní Ìmọ̀ta, very close to Caleb University, ibẹ̀ ló wà bet gbogbo ẹ̀ yányán omi àti tàtán. Àwa tá a bá sì fẹ́ ilẹ̀ ní Ìbàdàn, tá a tún fẹ́ ilẹ̀ ní Island, ẹ jẹ́ ká kàn sí iléeṣẹ́ Landless Homes and Properties. Ibẹ̀ láti lè ralẹ̀ tó fọkàn balẹ̀. Yẹ́misí Ọbádáìró on YouTube, ẹ káàsán. Iléeṣẹ́ Landless Homes and Properties, ibẹ̀ ni mò ń sọ, iléeṣẹ́ yẹn mò ń sọ̀rọ̀ lọ́wọ́ nípa wọn, nípa pé àwa tá a bá wà ní Nàìjíríà, bá wà nílùú òyìnbó tá a dẹ̀ fẹ́ ralẹ̀. Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn èèyàn tí wọ́n wà nílùú òyìnbó yẹn ló jẹ́ wípé àti tó bá fẹ́ ralẹ̀ nílé, wọ́n mọ̀ rò pé káwọn mọ̀ lọ bọ́ sọ́wọ́ gbájúẹ̀, káwọn mọ̀ lọ bọ́ sọ́wọ́ àwọn tí wọ́n gbowó, àwọn tí wọ́n ò ní fáwọn ńlẹ̀. Kò sí gbogbo yẹn ní iléeṣẹ́ Landless Homes and Properties. Iléeṣẹ́ tí mo lè fọwọ́ ẹ̀ sọ̀yà ni. Immediate allocation of land ni tá a bá ti ralẹ̀. Baba Organ Building, ẹ ṣé mo dúpẹ́, thank you for the roses. So yẹn bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn tá a bá ti ralẹ̀ wa, wọ́n allocate ẹ̀ fún wa. Kò ní ìdí ẹsẹ̀sẹ̀ máa padà bọ̀ ǹjọ́ mi. Ìyá bá ti sanwó yín, corner piece wọ́n ti ṣe kalẹ̀ ẹlẹ̀, wọ́n ti bá ń kọ ọkọ̀ yín sí. R of O, C of O, gbogbo red copies, gbogbo mọ̀ pọ́n ilẹ̀ míì wà tá a máa bá ń tó jẹ́ pé a san 10% owó lẹ́hùn, a tún san fún ìjọba. Kò sí gbogbo ìlú iléeṣẹ́ Landless Homes and Properties, gbogbo ẹ̀yán òun ló ti complete, tó sì ti pé, tó sì ṣe pé kò sí extra charges wọn níṣẹ́ mọ́ charge wa extra fún corner piece, torí tán bá fẹ́ ṣe allocation bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn, massive allocation òun ni wọ́n máa ń ṣe. So àwa tá a bá sí ní Nàìjíríà gan, a lè yan èèyàn lọ sí orí site yẹn láti bá wa gba allocation àti gbogbo dọ́kúmẹ̀ntì wa. Iléeṣẹ́ tí ó fi ní lọ́kàn balẹ̀ ni fún àwa tá a bá fẹ́ ralẹ̀ tí a sì fẹ́ jẹ́ kí ó jẹ́ ilẹ̀ tí yóò fi wá ní ọkàn balẹ̀. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni Digital Buzz Academy, iléeṣẹ́ tí iléèwé tá a ti lè kọ́ ẹ̀kọ́ nípa different streams of incomes. Àwa tá a bá fẹ́ lo social media láti generate owó àti láti kọ́ àwọn ẹ̀kọ́ nípa content creation, video editing àti gbogbo àwọn skills tó lè mú kí àwa náà ká lè wà productive lórí wípé ṣẹ́mu a ti wà ní ayé tìlújára nísìn. Àkókò tá a wà yìí ó jẹ́ àkókò tó jẹ́ wípé people are making use of social media to do several things, to do diverse of things that can generate income for them. So òun ló jẹ́ kí iléeṣẹ́ Digital Buzz Academy, iléèwé is an academy, online school ni tí wọ́n ti ń train èèyàn, wọ́n tán ti lè train wa bá a ṣe lè lo àwọn different apps yìí. Àwọn ó kọ́ wa ní affiliate marketing, wọ́n kọ́ wa ní video editing, wọ́n kọ́ wa ní content creation and some other things tó jẹ́ pé ó lè wúlò fún wa láti mú wa generate income. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni iléeṣẹ́ Digital Buzz Academy UK ni ẹ mọ̀ pé is an online school, so but the number is a UK number, so a lè bá wọn sọ̀rọ̀ lórí WhatsApp tàbí ká pe WhatsApp call, ká put WhatsApp call through to them, ká béèrè question +447 3972 43242 +447 3972 43242. Digital Buzz Academy ibẹ̀ ni à ń pè. Then Lila Caps Nigeria Limited, àwa tá a bá nílò consultation, tí a nílò láti rí dókítà láti sọ̀rọ̀ nípa ìlera ara wa, àti àwa tó bá jẹ́ pé a fẹ́ mọ̀ nípa àwọn nǹkan bá ṣe lè mix àwọn tewétegbò papọ̀ láti lè produce àwọn herbal mixtures tá a fẹ́ mọ̀ produce ẹ̀ fúnra wa, iléeṣẹ́ Lila Caps Nigeria Limited ẹ jẹ́ ká kàn sí wọn 08159405621. bẹ́ẹ̀ ni Lila Caps Nigeria Limited ibẹ̀ ni à ń pè. So àwọn ìpolówó ọjà tá a ti sọ yìí, àwa tá a bá nílò ìbéèrè kan tàbómi ẹ jẹ́ wá bèmí náà ní WhatsApp nípa àwọn iléeṣẹ́ wọ̀nyí, so that màá lè fún wa ní ẹ̀kúnrẹ́rẹ́ àlàyé nípa wọn, tàbí kí n tiẹ̀ kọ́pì nọ́mbà wọn sí wa in case tá a bá rí kọ́pì tán nísìn. So dadi TJ àbí ta ni mo kíní yẹn ó ti gbé sá lọ ṣá. Now gẹ́gẹ́ bí mo ṣe sọ lẹ́ẹ̀kan, mo sọ fún wa mo ní pé as a sex education for little kids, mi ti ẹ̀ caption kíní yẹn gan sí Facebook ṣá, can you imagine, mi caption ẹ̀yin Facebook ṣé mo caption yìí ni, mi caption mo kàn kọ Friday chat ni, mi kọ sex education for little kids. tó it is well with us, tí n bá parí màá lọ fi caption sí. So àwa tá a wà níbí ní last week Friday a sọ̀rọ̀ nípa bá a ṣe lè dá àwọn ọmọ wa lẹ́kọ̀ọ́. Àwa tá a bá fẹ́ ṣe screen record, we can start our screen recording from now. Ṣé mọ̀ pé ìta ọkọ̀ ṣe kọjá yẹn advert ni. A sọ̀rọ̀ nípa bá a ṣe lè dá àwọn ọmọ kéékèèké wa lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ nípa sex education, àti kí wọ́n ṣe bá a ṣe lè dá wọn lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ nípa ẹ̀yà ara wọn, how to be conscious of their body part. Ṣóyé wa, a dẹ̀ sọ fún wa wípé láti ọmọ ọdún méjì, tó túmọ̀ sí pé nígbà tí ọmọ bá ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní sọ̀rọ̀, tó ti ń gbọ́rọ̀, tá a ti lè ní kó pronounce, tá a bá sọ fún pé what is this, tó ti lè sọ pé biro, tàbí tó bá yẹ pé tí ò bá mọ̀ tẹ́ bá sọ pé this is a biro, tẹ́ bá sọ pé what is this, tó ti lè repeat pé biro, tó ti lè tá a ti lè pe nǹkan fọ́mọ, tọ́mọ náà ti lè repeat after us. Àtìgbà yẹn ni ọmọ ti lè wà receptive, ló ti lè kọ́ ẹ̀kọ́ nípa ẹ̀yà ara rẹ̀. Ṣóyé wa báyìí, ṣé mọ̀ pé ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn ọmọdé táwọn ọkùnrin tán máa ń molest, tán máa ń wà burúkú sí wọn yìí, ọlá wípé àwọn ọmọ yẹn wọn ò mọ bí wọ́n ṣe sọ̀rọ̀, wọn ò mọ bí wọ́n ṣe wí, àwọn ọmọ yẹn ò free. Òun ló fà á tí ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn tí wọ́n máa ń take advantage àwọn ọmọ, tí wọ́n máa ń take advantage wọn. So a sọ fún wa yìí pé nígbà tá a bá fẹ́ dá àwọn ọmọ wa lẹ́kọ̀ọ́, a provide the enabling environment fún wọn. We will allow them to sit down comfortably, so that wọ́n á lè wò wá, ojú wa yóò lè tó wọn. Kódà tán bá pọ̀, tán bá sì pọ̀, bóyá méjì mẹ́ta àbí mẹ́rin, wọ́n sì lè pọ̀ jù bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ. Ẹ mọ̀, children from the age of, when you say children, ó mì pé ẹni tí kò tí di adult. Ṣóyé wa, from the age of like 2, 3 and above, from toddler. Ṣóyé wa bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn, láti mọ̀ reiterate, láti mọ̀ sọ fún wọn. Àwọn kan tiẹ̀ sọ pé kíní yìí ó yẹ ká mọ̀ ṣe quarterly, bóyá every 3 months àbí every 4 months. Òun la máa ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀, since tó yẹ pé videos can always be reshared. A lè reshare video tó jẹ́ pé even though téèyàn bá ṣe video gan, you can reshare it. Àmọ́ video 3-4 years. Ọlákúnlé Arẹ́gbẹ́ káàbọ̀, tá a ti ṣe láti bí 4 years tá a reshare. So wọ́n sọ fún wa pé tá a bá pe àwọn ọmọ wa jókòó, àwọn ọmọ starting from the age of 2-3, tán ti lè sọ̀rọ̀, tán ti lè gbọ́rọ̀, á jẹ́ kó yé wọn wípé ní gbogbo ara wa pátápátá ó pín sí méjì. Ẹ bí wọ́n léèrè mélòó ni ẹ̀yà ara wa pín sí, ọmọ ó sọ fún yín pé méjì. Tẹ́ bá sì fẹ́ sọ léèbù, how many division of the body parts do we have? They will tell you that we have 2. The whole body is divided, or is categorized into 2, which is the private part and public part. So you ask the children or the child, depending on bóyá ẹyọ kan ni àbí wọ́n pọ̀ tẹ́ ń kọ́, mélòó la ní gbogbo àwọn ẹ̀yà ara wa pín sí, yóò sọ pé méjì. A ní ibi tó jẹ́ private tá à ń pè ní ibi ìpamọ́, ibi ìkọ̀kọ̀, a sì níbi tó jẹ́ public part of the body. Now tá a bá ti sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn fún ọmọ, you will ask the child to repeat after you the private part and the public part. Tá a bá dẹ̀ ń dá àwọn ọmọ lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ yìí, ẹ má jẹ́ ká gbàgbé pé ọmọdé ni wọ́n máa ń fẹ́ràn motivation. Tẹ́ bá béèrè lọ́wọ́ ọmọ tó bá gbà, ẹ sọ fún ọmọ yẹn pé kó clap for herself tàbí kó clap for himself. As much as tó bá ti clap fúnra ẹ̀, excitement yẹn máa wà níbẹ̀ pé òun mọ̀ nǹkan tẹ́ ẹ sọ fóun, òun dẹ̀ get the question yẹn right. Now once the child knows that the body part is divided into private and public, then the next thing is that why is it that some parts of the body are known as private? Why is it private? You will now tell the child that it is private because nobody must see it, nobody must touch it, and nobody must play with it. It belongs to only me. Now ẹ jẹ́ kó yé ọmọ pé ìdí tá a fi pè àwọn ẹ̀yà ara kan ní private ni pé kò sẹ́ni tó gbọ́dọ̀ rí, kò sẹ́ni tó gbọ́dọ̀ fọwọ́ kàn, ẹnìkan kò sì gbọ́dọ̀ fi ṣeré àyàfi èmi nìkan. The child will repeat after you. When you say a part of the body is private, then you will tell the child that this part is private, or some parts are private because they belong to only you. Nobody must see it, touch it, or play with it. The child will repeat after you. Don't forget that all these children, they are very, very knowledgeable and they are smart. As much as tí ọmọ tó bá ti ń lọ nursery and primary school tàbí tó ṣáà ti ń lọ school, tí wọ́n dẹ̀ ti ń kọ́ wọn, kódà bó ṣe èdè Yorùbá àbí èdè òyìnbó ni wọ́n fi ń kọ́ ọmọ. Even láti inú ilé gan lọmọ ti ń kọ́ èdè. So tẹ́ bá ṣàlàyé nǹkan fọ́mọ, ọmọ máa understand ẹ̀, yóò gbọ́. A rí pé tá bá ń ṣiṣẹ́, bóyá àwọn even kó ṣe àwọn èso lára. Look at this fruit now. This is orange. This is orange. Tí n bá ní ọmọ bí ọmọ ọdún méjì àbí ọmọ ọdún mẹ́ta ń bí nsìn, tí n bá mú kinní lọ́wọ́, tí n bá sọ pé what is this? Tó bá ń wò mí tí ò mọ̀, tí n bá sọ pé this is orange. What did I call it? The child will tell me and say, the child will say orange. You repeat again. What did I call this thing for you? Orange. You will see that by the time you reiterate the name of this thing for the child will repeat it. As much as the child is repeating it, it sticks. Ó máa stick sí ọpọlọ rẹ̀. Bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ni tẹ́ bá ń sọ fún ọmọ pé a particular part of the body is private, and you have told the child the reason why that part is private. Ẹ ti attach definition kan sí private. Now you proceed. You now proceed by saying that we have private parts for girls and we also have private parts for boys. Don't forget that as you are teaching the children or the child all these things, you will be excited. When you ask them and they repeat after you, you ask them to clap for themselves. You say clap for yourself. You can mention the name of that child. Maybe the child bears Rachel or Daniel. Daniel, what are the two division parts of the body? You will say private part and public part. Why is it that some part of the body are private? They are private because it belongs to only me. Nobody must see it, nobody must play with it, and nobody must touch it. If the child is not fluent enough, you can help the child to pronounce it. Àwọn ọmọ mi wà tó ṣe pé they are slow learners. Even though as you are saying it, on sticks ọpọlọ wọn, but they might not be able to repeat it after you like all other children. You have to carry all of them along. And you have to make sure that this teaching, they are so relaxed that wọn máa feel shy to listen. Ẹ jẹ́ kí class yẹn kó wà interactive, kó wà educative enough, such that the children will not feel shy. They will know that they are in normal class where they are teaching them personal hygiene, where they teach them cleanliness, where they teach them mathematics, English, and all of that. You will make this sex education so educative and interesting such that wọn kàn ní máa rẹ́rìn. Don't forget that these are children. When I was teaching, when I was working as a teacher, I teach biology, and anytime I want to teach reproductive system, don't forget that those ones are teenagers. Pátápátá age tó ń parí school start nísìnyí bóyá 17 or 18. So they are teenagers. Àwọn tó dàgbà jà àwọn toddler can teach yìí lọ. But those ones, when you say, okay, for example, we want to do reproductive system, then you start mentioning the female reproductive system, the male reproductive system. Any student that laugh any unnecessary laugh, I'll make sure that that student will stand at the front of the class. I'm not going to send you out, because I know that the wicked village people that are in your place, they will not allow you to fail. Because by the time I ask you to go out now, maybe the ones that will tell your colleague when you are out is that one that will come out in your exam. That is why you kuku fail. So you will come and stand in front of the class. You will be on your feet until that class finishes. Because you have started hearing the negative thing when others are ready to learn. So the class will be a kind of interactive class, such that the children, you will be able to carry them along. They will be able to be confident to hear all those things. Now, you have already told the child, or you've told the children, that we have private parts for girls and we also have private parts for boys. Now, the private part for girls, you start mentioning it to them. And don't forget, let this thing be taught in their local language, their mother tongue. Èèyàn tó bá jẹ́ Hausa, use Hausa to mention those parts for them. Ẹni tó bá jẹ́ Igbo, ẹni tó bá jẹ́ Yorùbá, èdè abínibí ni kẹ́ fi kọ́ wọn. Now, àti attach definition mọ́ private parts. So wọ́n ti mọ̀ wípé àwọn parts tá mọ̀ mention yìí, they are private because they belong to only me. Nobody must see it, nobody must touch it, and nobody must play with it. Now, ẹ wá proceed. We have private parts for girls, we have private parts for boys. Then what are the private parts for girls? Ẹ bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ni mọ̀ sọ fún wọn. Your bum bum, your lap, ṣóyè wà bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn, ìtàn, ìdí, ọyàn, abẹ́, abíyá. In fact, tá bá ń sọ ọ̀rọ̀ obìnrin, gbogbo ara obìnrin la lè pè ní ìhòòhò rẹ̀. Nítorí pé ẹ rí pé mi lè emphasis on the public part. Torí tá bá sọ pé ọwọ́ is not part of the private part we are talking about. Even when àwọn bọ̀dọ̀ ọ̀dẹ̀ tí wọ́n máa ń wà ládùúgbò òun, àbáwọn ń pọ̀ ọ̀dẹ̀ tí wọ́n ò wúlò òun, tí wọ́n bá mú ọwọ́ ọmọ tán bọ ọmọ lọ́wọ́, wọ́n lè máa fọwọ́ ha ọmọ lọ́wọ́ títí tẹ̀sùn kí ó fi wọ rárá. But as we proceed, we will know how the child will be able to handle those ones, so that the child will not be shy to tell the mother when he gets home. Now, we are now saying that the private part for girls, you mention it to them. Ọmú, ìtàn, abíyá, ìdí. Ẹ wá sọ fún wọn kí wọ́n mention rẹ̀. You tell them what are the private parts for girls. They will start mentioning it. As much as somebody should mention, tell the children to clap for themselves. If you call one of them, thank you for the perfume, ẹ ṣé mo dúpẹ́, God servant. Let's say one of them is wearing like Tayo. You now say, Tayo, what are the private parts for girls? Probably she mentioned like 2 or 3. Tell that girl to clap for herself. Tó bá ti clap fara ẹ̀, wá excited pé this is a serious thing. Kì í ṣe pa àfin ṣẹ̀fẹ̀. Now, don't forget that as much tá bá ṣe mention àwọn private parts yìí fún ọmọ, a definition is ringing in the head of that child already, because òun láti sọ síwájú pé kí lè tàbí sọ pé àwọn ẹ̀yà ara kan private, wọ́n private nítorí pé èmi nìkan mo gbọ́dọ̀ rí, èmi nìkan mo ní, kò sẹ́ni tó gbọ́dọ̀ fọwọ́ kàn, kò sì tẹ́ni tó gbọ́dọ̀ fi ṣeré. Now, tá a bá wá pè wọ́n lẹ́yọ kọ̀ọ̀kan pé don't forget that fúnra wa lákọ̀ọ́kọ́ mention gbogbo private parts in fún àmọ́ wá bí wọ́n pé kí wọ́n mọ̀ mention what are the private parts for girls. If the child mention 2 or 3, you can help them to mention the remaining. Now, why is it that these parts are private? They will repeat it. Don't forget that tá a bá ṣe ń repeat, ìní máa ń jẹ́ kó stick sọ́pọlọ ọmọ. Mi máa ń sọ fún mi pé most of video tí mo máa ń ṣe pé mo máa ń repeat the point. Yeah, I repeat because I teach. So, and as much tó dé pé mo ń ṣiṣẹ́ olùkọ́, mo ń kọ́yàn lẹ́kọ̀ọ́. ní mọ̀ sọ lẹ́ẹ̀kan. You repeat for the sake of emphasis. Àwọn students míì wà tó ṣe pé tẹ́ bá sọ lẹ́ẹ̀kínní ẹ sọ lẹ́ẹ̀kejì ẹlẹ́ẹ̀kẹta náà tó gbọ́. Now you have mentioned the private parts for boys, for girls. Now you also tell the children we also have private parts for boys. What are the private parts for boys? Then you will mention it for them. You mention it for them. The bum bum, the lap, ẹ sọ fún wọn. Ṣé rí gbogbo àwọn ẹ̀yà ara yẹn ẹ má máa fi èdè míì pè fún wọn. Ẹ sọ fún wọn pé okó wọn is a private part. Ìdí wọn is a private part. Ìtàn private part ni. Tó sì pé nobody must see it or touch it or play with it. Now, then you allow the child to know that as much as your own part is private to you, so also the part of another person is private to that person. As nobody must see your own, you too must not see the other person's own. In other words, anywhere that somebody is going, and you know that that person is going there to undress, maybe the person wants to go and use the restroom, or he just come out from work or from anywhere, he wants to undress, you have to excuse that person. There are some children like that. So tágbàlagbà kan àbẹ́nìkan bá dé láti ibi iṣẹ́ tó fẹ́ bọ́ra lẹ̀, they will sit down there, they will not leave. No, as a child who has been taught that there are some parts that are private, nobody must see, play with or touch, then nobody must see my own. I too must not see another person's own. By so doing, the child is learning courtesy. Now let's proceed. We have mentioned the private part for boys and the private part for girls. Then you tell them that we have two types of touches. Two types of touch. If you see comment section, we have two types of touch. How many touch do we have? You will see the children will respond. We have two types. You ask them to repeat after you. We have two types of touch. Now you tell them that we have the good touch and we have bad touch. What are the two types of touch that we have? Good touch and bad touch. You will tell them to repeat it. And if it is only one child you're training this, you ask the child, how many types of touch do we have? The child will tell you two types. Then you will say we have good touch and bad touch. Now, what is good touch and what is bad touch? You will now say any touch in any of your private parts is a bad touch and you must resist it. Ẹ jẹ́ kí ọmọ kó mọ̀ pé ẹni tí ìfọwọ́kàn ẹni bá ti fọwọ́kàn any of your private parts, that person is giving you a bad touch and you have to resist that touch. Now, how will the child resist? You resist, number one, by shouting. You raise alarm. Now, the child had already known that the list of those private parts ó ń bẹ lára òun. Ó sì ti mọ̀ pé divination rẹ̀ ni wípé nobody must touch, see or play with. So now the bad touch is any touch on any of those private parts is a bad touch. And when we are discussing this thing, we have to be very, we have to be very logical, because àwọn ọmọ, they tend to stick their brain to the single thing you told them alone. There are some àwọn adult men míì wà tó jẹ́ pé tán bá bọ ọmọ lọ́wọ́ báyìí wọ́n máa fi ìka ha àtẹ́lẹwọ́ ọmọ. It is wrong. Any touch that is beyond the normal touch, you allow the child to know. Even the hair of a child can be private. Àwọn bọ̀dọ̀ ọ̀dẹ̀ kan wà tí wọ́n mọ̀ ní irun rẹ̀ irun fine. Who help you to do it? It's my mommy. It's fine o. When did your mommy help you to? Is it your mommy that help you to take your bath? Yes, my mommy that bath for me. So it's your mommy that do this your hair. So as the guy is saying, this your hair is fine o. A time will come that the child will start enjoying it. She will start enjoying that touch. And of course, when you were mentioning the private part, you didn't mention here. So the child might think it's normal. So now, that's why we are saying that we have to repeat this lesson for them. The head was not part of the private part that we mentioned. But somebody can rough handle a child's head Before you know it, the child will think it's a normal thing. All these things, we have to put it inside of them. Now let's proceed. We have two types of touch, which is the good touch and the bad touch. Tá a bá tí ìkọ́kọ́ mention private and public part síwájú, kò sí bá a ṣe lè ṣàlàyé good and bad touch, because a fẹ́ kán mọ̀ pé any touch in any of their private parts is a bad touch that they must resist. And how do we resist? Báwo la ṣe lè resist àwọn bad touch wọ̀nyẹn? Ó ní pé number one, you have to shout or scream. Once anybody touches you in any of your parts that is, you see that the touch is abnormal, or the person is touching your bum bum, he's saying, hey, this your skirt is fine. You see your mommy that help you to buy this skirt. And gradually, before the child knows it, the child will think that is a normal thing. But once the child already has all these things in his head or her head, the child will know that this person is abusing her. Now, when you explain the bad touch, you let the child know that once anybody try to touch any of these parts we mentioned, that is a bad touch you must resist. Number one, you scream and you run away from that person. Wàá pariwo, wàá sì sá kúrò lọ́dọ̀ ẹni yẹn. And when you get home, you report immediately. Those are the three ways to resist. The child will shout, the child will run away, and the child will report immediately. Because there are some YouTube videos about all of this that bí àwọn cartoon náà ṣe àwọn display yẹn. So there are some of the videos náà sọ pé they said the child will run away. The child must first of all raise alarm. You understand? Ṣé mọ̀ pé àwọn tí wọ́n máa ń rough handle àwọn ọmọ yẹn, they will first of all take a step. Ẹ wo gbogbo ọmọ tí a máa gbáǹdì, tí a kàn máa fọwọ́ jẹ wọ́n lára wọn. Ìjọ́ kan ní kinní yẹn ó bẹ̀rẹ̀. Ẹni ó bá ti kọ́kọ́ fọwọ́ gbá ọ báyìí tó tètè resist ẹ̀ pé what is all this nonsense? You understand? Tó ti ṣe tó kàn gbọ́nù tó sọ̀rọ̀. Nígbà tó bá dijọ́ kejì, nǹkan tó máa ṣe máa burú jù yẹn lọ. Gradually, you won't be able to resist again. But the child that grows to know that any touch or any indiscriminate touches of around is a bad touch, that child will grow with that mentality. So any touch in any of your private parts is a bad thought that you must resist. Now, mommy, how do I resist? You resist by screaming. Tó bá ti pariwo, you run away from that person and you report immediately. Now, once the child has been able to differentiate between the good touch and the bad touch, then you will say that anybody that is trying to touch any of your private parts, that person is trying to abuse you. The person is what? The person wants to abuse you, and you must report. Now, who is that person that can abuse you? Who can abuse you as a child? The answer is anybody. Is anybody. Forget about it. Ayé bí Ọlọ́run jà rógun èṣù. Ayé tá wà gan aràn bàbá tó molest ọmọ tí yan bí. Anybody. As a result of that, it could be an uncle in the school, or uncle at home, àbáwọn bọ̀dá àdúgbò kan, àbáwọn uncle kan. Anybody. That means that once the child is already conscious of his body system, kò ní mọ̀ feel pé bóyá nítorí pé ẹni tí jẹ́ family member òun, ẹni yẹn ó kàn touch òun ni kò abuse òun. No. You know, there are some children that will have a mentality that this person is my uncle, so òun kò lè abuse ẹ̀. Ó ti believe pé toró ti jọ ń kó òun kò lè abuse òun. So even tó bá fẹ́ fọwọ́ kan àwọn ibi tí òye ó fọwọ́ kan lára rẹ̀, kò ní resist. Maybe because bóyá àbúrò ọmọ rẹ̀ ni àbábúrò ọba rẹ̀. So you let the child know that anybody can do all these things to you. Therefore, anybody that tries to do any of this, that person wants to abuse you, and you must resist. Now, the child will resist by either running away from that person or screaming, especially when the child is not in a secluded place. Tí ṣe pé ọmọ yẹn wà níbi tó wà secluded débi pé kò ní tètè rí bí escape lọ. Ṣé dẹ̀ rí àwọn tí wọ́n máa abuse ọmọ yìí? Wọ́n ń ṣe far distance relative or close relative ni máa jẹ́ jù. You understand? And the places where children can be either rough handled or whatever in fact ó lè jẹ́ inú ilé ọmọ gan nínú ilé àwọn òbí rẹ̀ tó ṣe pé ẹni gan ló wá intrude ló wá oppress ọmọ yẹn nínú ilé bóyá ẹni tán gbà sílé tó ṣe pé àwọn òbí ọmọ yẹn náà nílé wọ́n kàn help bọ̀dá nǹkan wá mọ́ scott nínú ilé wọn òní òtún mọ́ wá oppress ọmọ nínú ilé báàrẹ̀. So that is the reason why our children must be aware of all of these things. They must be conscious. And when you gather all these children together to teach them this, there are some of them that might not respond, especially àwọn tó yẹ kó ṣì kéré, but don't force them to respond. Just continue. Bá a ṣe ń sọ yẹn ó ń stick sọ́pọlọ wọn is the subconscious part of their brain is recording it. That child is recording that thing in the subconscious part of the brain. On stick sínú brain ẹ̀. If you ask the child to repeat, some might repeat after you, while some might not repeat after you. They will be looking at you, but on record sínú brain. Now, we are now saying that who is it that can abuse you? Is anybody? Then say a stranger. Because the definition of a stranger is anybody you cannot vouch for. A stranger is anybody that you cannot vouch for, not somebody you have not seen before. The Baba who is a stranger at any time. No, anytime lè fọwọ́ ẹ̀ sọ̀yà. Therefore, virtually everybody is a stranger, because there are a lot of people that you think you can trust them, but in the real sense of it, you cannot trust them. But once the child is aware of all of those things, then the child is ready. The child, you see, anybody that wants to handle that type of child, the child will be hindered, because gbogbo tó yẹ kó mọ̀ ó ti wà lọ́pọlọ rẹ̀, ó ti wà conscious, ó ti mọ̀ pé àwọn part of the body òun kan ó ṣe pàtàkì tó ṣe pé ẹni tó bá fẹ́ fọwọ́ kàn òun níbẹ̀ òun gbọ́dọ̀ resist ni. Now, we are now saying that here at this particular place, parents are advised to teach their children how to wash and clean up after using the restroom. Àwọn ọmọ míì wà tó ṣe pé wọ́n tiẹ̀ ti ń pé 6-7 years gan, tó ṣe pé tán bá lọ ilé ìgbọ̀nsẹ̀ fúnra wọn wọn ní lè clean up. They will still call one auntie or one uncle to come and clean up for them. The child must learn how to be independent. Àwọn ọmọ míì wà tó jẹ́ pé even bó ṣe kéré mọ yẹn tán bá jẹun tán wọ́n palẹ̀ abọ́ wọn mọ́. There is one of my friend's child tó jẹ́ pé mo feel pé at age 3 or 4 tó bá jẹun tán he will carry his plate and go and put it in the kitchen. Even his teachers will say in the school pé this boy is very independent. Àwọn míì fún àṣà àtìgbà tó ṣì wà ní pre-KG ní kindergarten pé tán bá ti wà ní break time, as much as pé àwọn míì àwọn kọ́kọ́ fún oúnjẹ yẹn nù wọ́n bí ẹ̀ẹ̀mejì, àwọn á feed wọn fún ṣíbí méjì kó tó di pé wọ́n máa jẹ nǹkan wọn lọ. But this particular one, òun fúnra rẹ̀ ní òjò oúnjẹ yóò lọ gbé lunch box ẹ̀, ó máa wọ zip ẹ̀, á gbóúnjẹ jáde, á jẹun, á mumi, á dẹ̀ páàkì nǹkan ẹ̀ padà. So irú yẹn tó bá fi máa tó 6-7 years tó bá lọ restroom kò ní ìdí kó pe uncle kan kó wá bá tamba. So all these things, because as much as the child has learnt all of these things, the child will be independent, such that he or she can use the restroom by himself and clean up his or her body by herself. Torí majority uncle tí wọ́n bá èèyàn gbéhùn ni irú àwọn avenue yìí ni wọ́n fi mọ́ molest ọmọ. Tó bá ti mọ́ ọmọ lá, uncle kìíní kan will help me to wash my kìíní kan, auntie kìíní kan will wash my bum for me. All those things gradually the child ó máa wá grow to now depend on people. Ẹlòmíì ọmọ mi bá pọ́dún 7-8 kò ní lè clean up, ọmọ mi ò ní lè dáwẹ̀ fúnra ẹ̀. All those things, as much as the child grows, then we should continue to reiterate it in their head that things that they ought to do by themselves. Now I want to say, who can abuse you? Anybody. Could be your uncle, your neighbor, your relative, teacher, or a stranger. And we have said a stranger is anybody that we cannot vouch for. Now, as much as the child grows, we must be able to let them know that the secondary growth, the maturity, talking about puberty and adolescence, it will start coming in, it will begin to set in. But don't forget that this particular one is for little kids. Àwọn ọmọ kéékèèké. Now, mo rí wípé mo emphasize more on the girl child, because the girl child ló máa ń sábà wà much vulnerable. The boy child is not exempted too. Àwọn kan wà tó jẹ́ pé àwọn ọmọkùnrin kékeré ló jẹ́ pé wọ́n máa ń rough handle. But at the beginning of the class, don't forget that you have already told the children that the private part for boys is this and this. Ọmọkùnrin tó ti mọ̀ wípé ní ara òun bọ́m̀bọ́mù itan gbogbo ara òun tó jẹ́ private yẹn ẹnìkan kan ò gbọ́dọ̀ rí tàbí kó fọwọ́ kàn. Anybody that wants to do that to him, the child will easily resist it. And as much as that child too will not make attempts either to see other people's own or to touch other people's own. When this already is in their brain, anytime they see abnormality, they will report. Now let's proceed. What did abusers tell their victims? Then you now tell the child, you have been able to define that who is it that can abuse you? Anybody. Kí ni àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ tí àwọn abuser máa ń sọ fún àwọn victim wọn? Àkọ́kọ́ ó lè ní I will pay you. Your mommy will pay. You too, you will pay if you tell your mommy. A sọ fún ọ pé má sọ fún mommy rẹ o. Tó bá ti sọ fún mommy rẹ, ọ̀tá rí ó kù, ìwọ náà ó kù, mommy rẹ ó ṣe kinní kan. Ẹni ẹ wá jẹ́ kó yé ọmọ yín pé ẹnikẹ́ni tí bá ti ń sọ fún ọ pé n tí mo fẹ́ sọ fún ọ yìí má sọ fún mommy rẹ o. Má wí fún òyàn o. You now tell the child that person is an abuser. That person wants to abuse you. And that which he asks you not to tell me, when you get home, you must tell me. Ntọ́ni ọmọ sọ fún mọ́mí ẹ̀ gan lọ sọ̀rọ̀ bá délé. Ara àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ tí àwọn abusers tí wọ́n fi máa ń kéèjì àwọn victim wọn nìyẹn. Yọ́mọ ní ó ní tóun bá sọ òun ó pa òun. Ẹ wá jẹ́ kọ́mọ yẹn mọ̀ wípé kò lè pa ẹ́, ò lè kú. Gbogbo nǹkan tó ń sọ yẹn is only saying all of that in order to make you to be afraid. Ṣé ẹ mọ̀? Kò sí ẹnì kankan tí ọmọ kọ́kọ́ lajú sí lọ́wọ́ yàtọ̀ fún òbí. Ọwọ́ ìyá àbọ̀ ọwọ́ bàbá ni ọmọ lajú sí. Tó túmọ̀ sí wípé ní the first teacher of ọmọ ò ní parent yẹ. So nǹkan tí ọmọ bá kọ́kọ́ gbọ́ nínú ilé iná ni ó jẹ́ original nínú orí rẹ̀. Ni ó jẹ́ original nínú ọpọlọ rẹ̀. Now anyone tó bá gbọ́ níta will become the second version. It could be right or wrong. Now, if the child has had the right thing láti inú ilé, tó wá lọ ta tó tún lọ gbọ́ that same right thing, I will pay yes, I've been told, I've been taught. But a child tó ti gbọ́ right thing láti inú ilé, tó wá dé ta tó lọ gbọ́ wrong thing, á ti mọ̀ pé eléyìí is wrong. Why tó fi mọ̀ pé wrong? Because original ti ń bẹ nínú ọpọlọ rẹ̀. Original is already inside the brain of the child. So by the time the child hears fake, he or she will be able to identify that this is fake. You understand? So we are now saying that the various things that abusers tell their victims, bí àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ tí ó mọ dẹ́rù bà wọ́n, àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ tí ó mọ intimidate wọn, àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ tí ó mọ tó jẹ́ pé ó máa mú kí ẹni yẹn kó kéjì wọn nínú àwọn nǹkan tó ń ṣe fún wọn yẹn. So the children or the child will be in that cage and the child will not be able to come out. Ẹ wo gbogbo àwọn ọmọ tán ti máa ń wà molested for years yẹn, àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ yìí ni wọ́n máa ń sọ fún wọn tí wọ́n fi máa ń dẹ́rù bà wọ́n. But when you have already laid a foundation of all these things in the heart of the ọmọ, it will not be difficult for the child to be able to resist by the time he hears or sees anything like that. And another thing is that parents are advised to befriend their children. It's not as if pé yín ó máa pariwo mọ́mọ́ jágbe mọ́mọ́. When the child wants to tell you something, the child must be free. Ṣé yé wa bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn? The child must be free to tell you whatever he or she has in mind. Then don't force your children to go and stay in some people's house. Àwọn míì wà tó ṣe pé tán bá ní àlọ́ ọlọ́lùdé ní ọ̀dọ̀ àwọn kan àbí mọ́ lọ lé àwọn kan, ọmọ á lòun ò lọ. Ẹ mọ̀ wulẹ̀ jágbe mọ́mọ́ pé kí lè tó lọ. Ask the child. Bóyá èèyàn kan wà níbẹ̀ tó ranjú mọ́ ni. Bóyá èèyàn kan wà níbẹ̀ tí ń dẹ́rù bà tó fi lòun ò lọ. There will definitely be a reason that the child says she doesn't want to go to a particular place. So let's stop forcing children to go to where they don't want to go. And parents, let's stop leaving children to the hands of uncles, aunties, and people that you know that they are not responsible. Now let's proceed. So now the child must know that his or her own private part is special to him. Another person's private part is also special to that person. It's also precious to that person. As at this point, the child has started learning the importance of privacy. The child has started learning to respect privacy of others. In other words, the child will not be among those that will go and peep if anybody wants to undress or anybody is undressing. Are you getting it now? So now we are saying that wherever you know that somebody wants to go and undress, you have to release that person so that that person will be able to have freedom to his privacy, just like you too will have to your home. And at this point, parents are advised to separate the rooms of the boys and the girls. Àwọn ọmọbìnrin tẹ́ ẹ ti sọ fún wípé the private parts belong to you, nobody must see it, nobody must play with it or touch it. Tẹ́ ẹ wá kó ọmọbìnrin méjì àtọkùnrin mẹ́rin, tẹ́ ẹ kó wọn sínú yàrá kan, tẹ́ ẹ ní after all they are kids, they are children, they grew up together. Fine, they grew up together. But bọ́n ṣe ń dàgbà yẹn, àwọn ẹ̀yà ara wọn ti ń grow. Àwọn ọmọ tó ti ń pọ́dún 5, ọdún 6, ọdún 7, ọdún 8, ẹ jẹ́ á separate yàrá wọn. Let the boys stay separately, let the girls stay separately. Ṣé ẹni téèyàn bá kọ́ àwọn ẹ̀kọ́, then èèyàn need environment láti practicalize ẹ̀kọ́ yẹn. Tí ọmọ tẹ́ ti sọ fún pé your privacy belongs to you, nobody must see it, touch it or play with it. And then wá kó gbogbo wọn sínú yàrá kan. Kò sí bí irú ọmọ yẹn gan bó ṣe lè pa àwọn ìwòwò ara rẹ̀ yẹn mọ́, because kò sí allowance rẹ̀. The boys will have their room, the girls will have their room, so that they will be able to know that this thing, they will be able to apply it. Not even in the inú ilé alone, even outside. Now we are now saying immoral things that you know that this is where they are talking about it, you stay away. Let the child know that where they are talking of immorality, they are talking of things that are filthy, you stay away, because these are children. I'm saying this because I'm not directing it to the children, because all these apps now are all meant for adults. A child or anybody that is less than 18 cannot be on Facebook unless tó bá jẹ́ ní tó parọ́ age. Because Facebook máa sọ fún ẹ, when you want to open Facebook, if the date of birth you put by calculation is less than, you are less than 18 years, Facebook will not open a profile for you. So this is directed to adults for you to teach the children, because the children are not expected to be here. No, so now we are saying that the child, you will now tell the child to repeat what you have been saying since the beginning of that class. You go back again. What are the two divisions of the body parts? The private part and public part. If the child or if the children is not able to remember it immediately, you can remind them the private part and public part. And children are very, very intelligent. They learn by modeling. They copy whatever they see. Anything they hear, it sticks to their brain. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe ń sọ yẹn, tẹ́ repeat yẹn, ó ti ń stick sínú ọpọlọ wọn, and you will see that they will be relaxed. And as much as tó bá ṣe ń gba point yẹn, tell them to clap for themselves. If you ask a child, maybe your toddler or maybe a 3-year-old toddler, that bring that key for me. If the child brings the key, tell the child to clap for him or herself. By so doing, you are excited, ń jẹ́ kí inú ẹ̀ dùn, ń jẹ́ kí ó máa wà happy pé òun ti mọṣẹ́ jẹ́. Next time, by the time you ask the child to do something, he will do it happily. Now we are saying that finding fault always with children will discourage them. If you are always finding fault, ó ṣe yìí kò dáa, ó ṣe tọ̀hún kò dáa, ó ṣe yìí kò dáa, ó ṣe tọ̀hún kò dáa. As much tá bá find fault, organ building ẹ ṣe ń sà, ọmọ mama bẹ̀rù. This thing tá à ń kọ́ wọn yìí, a fẹ́ kán wà relax láti kọ́ ni. Therefore, as much as we are going back to repeat it, we are going to that stage of pé a fẹ́ kínú wọn dùn pé àwọn mọ nǹkan yìí. Now, Why repeat the private part and public part? Then you will ask them, why is it that some parts of the body are private? You will see, they will say that it is private because it belongs to me. Nobody must see it, nobody must touch it, and nobody must play with it. Now, ask the girls. You know, this time around, you might have a class of both boys and girls. You might have a class of just girls or boys, or maybe one child. Ask the child, what are the private parts for girls? The child will start mentioning it. Ìdí, abẹ́, itan, abíyá. In fact, mo fẹ́ lè sọ pé gbogbo ara obìnrin ó ní ìwòwò rẹ̀. Kí ló dé tá a fi sọ wípé àwọn ẹ̀yà ara abẹ yẹn ibi tó dá kan private ni wọ́n private nítorí wípé ibi ìpamọ́ ni. Èmi nìkan ni mo ní, èmi nìkan ni mo gbọ́dọ̀ rí, ẹnìkan kò gbọ́dọ̀ rí, kò gbọ́dọ̀ fọwọ́ kàn, kò sì gbọ́dọ̀ fi ṣeré. Tell the child to clap for himself or herself. Tó bá ti pàtẹ́wọ́, ó ti mọ̀. Don't forget that àwọn ọmọdé ni wọ́n, a sì lè rí wọn mú ní age tán wà. Ẹ dákun, sọ́mọ 18 years lẹ́yìn ọ̀sẹ̀ ìmọ̀ pàtẹ́wọ́ fún rẹ̀. Àwọn ọmọ 20 years lẹ́yìn ọmọ pàtẹ́wọ́ fún rẹ̀. Bẹ́ẹ̀ bá sọ fún ọmọ ọdún mẹ́ta mẹ́rin pé clap for yourself, the child will be happy to clap for himself because that clap is like a goal for them. Then you proceed. What are the private parts for boys? Then what are the two types of touches? The good touch and the bad touch. And when we are doing this, don't let us concentrate on only one child. If we have them plenty, bóyá kó wọn jọ, bóyá ọmọ kéékèèké àdúgbò àwọn ọmọ tá a sáàtò bóyá tó bí mẹ́rin márùn, let's carry them along. Now, when you repeat it downward to who is an abuser or who can abuse you, and who is an abuser? Anybody that is trying to touch any of your private parts is an abuser. That person is trying to abuse you. And what must you do? You must shout. You will run away and you must report immediately. Ṣé rí area report yìí ni wọ́n ti sábà máa pa àwọn ọmọ yẹn lẹ́nu mọ́. Ọmọ ò ní sọ. Ẹlòmíì tipẹ́tipẹ́ tí wọ́n ti ń ṣe gbogbo nǹkan báyìí sí. The child keeps quiet. But right from kékeré tọ́mọ bá ti mọ̀ pé nobody can intimidate me, the child will be able to speak out because the child will be free. Now, I said some parents want to dodge their responsibility. Some parents want to dodge their responsibility. Wọ́n wá fi ọmọ sọ̀kò lókọ́ mo lè dúró bí kan. They don't want to take care of that child. Unfortunately, you see, a preserved child is better than a repaired adult. Tá preserve láti kékeré, tá ti fa àwọn ẹ̀kọ́ ìkọ́ láti kékeré. So yá báyìí, better ọmọ tó tí ọmọ nǹkan yìí. Tán wá ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ wá bóyá nǹkan kan ṣe, wọ́n wá ní ẹ wá rehab ẹ̀, ẹ já repair ẹ̀. Ká preserve ọmọ, ká ti kọ́ ọmọ ní ẹ̀kọ́, ká lè prevent gbogbo àwọn nǹkan yìí. Ó dájú kó wá ṣẹlẹ̀ sọmọ tán ká máa wá solution. Wọ́n ní prevention is better than cure. Now, we are now saying that the child will be able to know that all these things are very important. Tó gbọ́dọ̀ fi sí ìṣe, tó gbọ́dọ̀ ní ní ọkàn. So, the child is already prepared. And ṣé there are àwọn abusers yẹn, tán bá ti rí wípé àwọn make attempt sí ọmọ kan, tó wọ́n pariwo mọ́ wọn. Wọ́n ní dọ́dọ̀ ọmọ mọ́ tó rántí mọ̀ pé bad market lélẹ́yìí. But when the child is ignorant, when the child does not know, it will be a problem. When the child does not know, it will be a problem. Because àwọn ọmọ tí wọ́n ti máa ń jẹ́ victim of gbogbo àwọn nǹkan báyìí, they are children that are afraid. When the children does not have confidence, kò sí confidence, kò sí kini, the child is always living in fear. Òbí mi ìwà gan tó ṣe pé gan ọmọ nǹkan kan tí wọ́n kọ́ ọmọ. Nígbà tí ọmọ tí nǹkan bá ṣọmọ ń ta tọ́mọ ò lè délé sọ, a child for that matter, á rí wípé irú ọmọ yẹn, the abuser will continue to abuse the child. May we not be unfortunate, our children will not be unfortunate. Nígbà tí ọmọ bá ti mọ gbogbo irú àwọn nǹkan báyìí, ọmọ yóò mọ wá sí ọpọlọ rẹ̀. Don't forget that à ń kọ́ àwọn nǹkan yìí lẹ̀ to prepare their heart. Kò túmọ̀ sí pé yóò ṣẹlẹ̀ sọ́mọ. So yá báyìí, à kàn ń sọ kalẹ̀ so that the child will be able to know. Some children are ignorant. They will think it's a normal thing. they will think it's not a problem títí wọ́n sì fi mọ̀ tán fi mọ̀ abuse ọmọ yẹn. The child might not know. Now I said let the child know that anybody that is saying you should not tell your mom is an abuser. Anybody tí bá ń sọ nǹkan kan fún ọ tí wàá ní kíní ìmọ̀ sọ fún mọ́mí rẹ o, ẹni yẹn ó fẹ́ abuse yẹn ni. And that which he said you should not tell your mom, you should go and tell your mom. You will see that by so doing, you have taken that child above the level of an abuser. Ẹ ti gbé ọmọ yẹn lọ sí ipò tó ga ju trick tí ẹni tó fẹ́ abuse ẹ fẹ́ lò lé lórí. Now, your own private part is important to you. So also other people's private part. Do not allow anyone to tell you to come and touch his or her own. That is another one. Oh, gbọ́dọ̀ rí téèyàn mi ò gbọ́dọ̀ rí tiẹ̀. Ẹnìkan kan ò gbọ́dọ̀ fọwọ́ kan tiẹ̀, ìwọ náà ò gbọ́dọ̀ fọwọ́ kan tẹlòmíì. Ẹ wo ọmọ tó wá share story ẹ̀ ní bóyá bíi 5 Fridays ago tó share story ẹ̀ yẹn. Ó nígbà tó ń bẹ̀rẹ̀ period, nígbà tó ń gbọ́dọ̀ stepmother òun tó ń bẹ̀rẹ̀ period, òun sọ fún wọn, wọn dáhùn, wọn ní kó lọ sọ fún dádì òun. Àtìgbà yẹn làwọn bọ̀dá àdúgbò kan ó ti mọ̀ pé wọlé tọ́mọ ní kò mọ̀ fọwọ́ kókó wọn. Tọ́mọ ní kò mọ̀ fọwọ́ kókó wọn, kò mọ̀ fọwọ́ kà wọ́n lára. The child is ignorant. Kò mọ̀ nǹkan kan, kò dá kankan mọ̀, kò sẹ́ni tí ó fẹjọ́ sùn, kò sẹ́ni tí ó gbìjà rẹ̀. Now ẹ̀kọ́ yìí ó jẹ́ kó yé àwọn ọmọ pé bẹ́ẹ̀ni kankan ò ṣe gbọ́dọ̀ fọwọ́ kan tiẹ̀, ìwọ náà gbọ́dọ̀ fọwọ́ kan tẹlòmíì. So that the child will not say, maybe my mommy say they must not touch my own. Maybe me too can't touch other people. No. Everybody's private part belongs to them. As nobody must see your own, you too must not see other people's own. As nobody must touch your own, you too must not touch other people's own. As nobody must play with your own, you too must not play with other people's own. By so doing, there is no ẹ̀gbọ́n àdúgbò kankan tí ó wá sọ fún ọmọ pé kó wá mọ fọwọ́ kàn, kó mọ àmọ́ kó òun ṣeré. By so doing, the child is aware. Ó ti wà aware. The child is not ignorant. Now, so we are now saying that the child must know that the private part must be properly covered. That's another thing. The private part must be properly covered. And don't forget that all these private parts, the children can mention it. Wọ́n ti mọ̀ already, wọ́n ti lè mention. Someone sọ fún wa pé they must cover it properly. By so doing, the child knows that aṣọ tó ń bá wọ̀ ó gbọ́dọ̀ bo ọyàn, because ọyàn is one of the private parts that I mentioned. Ó gbọ́dọ̀ bo itan, ó gbọ́dọ̀ bo abíyá. Àwọn míì àwọn kámísọ̀ fún ọmọ obìnrin fa. Kámísọ̀ yẹn àwọn aṣọ tó máa ń dàbí lingering báyìí tó ó máa gbogbo abíyá ọmọ ló máa show ń bẹ́ẹ̀, gbogbo àwọn ṣe mọ̀ pé ẹ̀yà ara tí òòrùn kì í bá pa yóò mọ fresh, yóò mọ dán, òun ò pa ìdọ̀tí ò kí ń kàn. So gbogbo àwọn ibi kọ̀lọ̀fín ara bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn ó máa look succulent. Ẹ wá rí ọmọ tó ṣe pé very very pretty child, bóyá ọmọ bí ọmọ ọdún 6 ọdún 7, wọ́n wá wọṣọ fún ọyàn rẹ̀ tó ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ ń jáde, yóò wá mọ̀ hàn nínú aṣọ yẹn, abíyá rẹ̀ náà mọ̀ wá show. No, there are some parents tó ṣe pé aṣọ tí ọ̀kan lẹ̀ wọ̀ fọ́mọ láti lẹ́nu, bóyá wọ́n lọ sí bóyá picnic kan àbí wọ́n fẹ́ lọ attend birthday party ọmọ kékeré kan náà. The child must be properly covered so that bá ṣe ń sọ fún wọn ibi tẹ́ ẹ sọ pé nobody must see, fúnra yín náà lẹ ṣí ilẹ̀. Ẹ ti sọ fọ́mọ pé the private part, a private part means that part belongs to me, nobody must see it, touch it or play with it. You understand? Ẹ tó wá wọ sọ fọ́mọ tí ó mú kí wọ́n rí ibi tẹ́ ẹ ní wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ rí hùn, ṣe rí pé word and opposite nìyẹn. So the children must know that all these parts must be properly covered. Ẹ rí pé gbogbo orú nǹkan báyìí ní ọmọ ńlá dàgbà. Ẹ̀kọ́ àti kékeré ìmọ̀ ń ṣòro àti kókó lórí ọmọ. Sincerely. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ọmọ tán bá kọ́ ní nǹkan kan láti kékeré láti ilé ní ó dé ta bí wọ́n bá ṣe kọ́ńtà náà ni yóò rò pé òun ti dé paradíṣe ni. Bí wọ́n bá ti ṣe pé tí wọ́n bá ṣe ní ọkọ̀ ṣúẹ́ṣúẹ́ ni. Ìfẹ́ tá a bá fi hàn ọmọ nínú ilé, ẹ má jà mọ́ rò wípé bóyá nìkan ni ó fìfẹ́ hàn mọ́ ń ta lọ́fẹ̀ẹ́, kò ní wá lọ́fẹ̀ẹ́. So all these things are things that a parent can easily create time for the child or for the children to teach them. So we are saying that they must know that their parts must be properly covered, then separate the rooms of the boys from the girls. Àti sọ yẹn. nobody must see your nude. It has to be protected for your honor and for God. Wípé ara ọmọ á jẹ́ kó jẹ́ wípé ọmọ gbọ́dọ̀ dáàbò bò fún Ọlọ́run àti fún ara rẹ̀. This is very important. Àwọn ọmọbìnrin míì tí wọ́n para wọn mọ́ fún Ọlọ́run, wọ́n máa ń feel pé bóyá ó wà píparamọ́ táwọn ń paramọ́ ó wà fún ọkùnrin. Ara rẹ ló wà fún. You are keeping yourself for yourself. God said so. Instruction tí Ọlọ́run sọ ni. Àmọ́ wọ́n lọ ní ibẹ̀. Ara wípé àwọn míì máa ń feel pé keep yourself for your husband. Làwọn míì ó wà pé wọ́n lè mọ́ ti ṣèyàwó gan tí wọ́n fi lọ give out to hymen wọn. Because wọ́n believe pé ẹni táwọn bá fún òun ló ní yìí, ìwọ lọ ní yìí ibẹ̀. So it is meant for the husband, not any man. So you are doing that for yourself. For example, tá bá gbéyàwó ńsìn, tán bá ní pé ìyàwó yẹn ó parẹ́ mọ́ kò mọ ọkùnrin, òun ló ní yìí yẹn. That honor is for her. He is not ìwọ̀nba ni ó wà fún ọkùnrin mọ́, obìnrin yẹn ló wà fún. That is the reason why you will not lose or take that away because you want to make one boyfriend happy, or because you think you feel like. That's why a lot of people give up their hymen just for any reason. Wọ́n ti feel pé ọkùnrin inú rẹ̀ ọmọ wa dùn. Fine, the man might be happy, but the honor belongs to you as a lady. So now the child will know that all these things, ó wà fún honor tòun gan, is for you, for yourself. Imagine somebody tó jẹ́ pé kò ní self control, yìí kàn sùn kiri ni, kò sí yìí fún obìnrin bẹ́ẹ̀. So the girl child will grow up with this mentality that the dignity and honor of me is when I am covered. Now, tí àwọn ọmọ bá ti kọ́ ẹ̀kọ́ yìí láti kékeré, ó máa mú wọn lára, kì í ṣe ṣí kúrò nínú ọpọlọ wọn. Now, we are now saying that the girl child should not be sent on errand at night. Tílẹ̀ bá ti ń ṣú, tàbí even bílẹ̀ òṣù gan, ibi tá a bá mọ̀ pé ó máa ń dá, ẹ má jà máa rán ọmọ ṣẹ́ lọ ọbẹ̀, ìpa àrán máa ń ṣẹ́ lọ ọbẹ̀. Ẹlòmíì ń bọ̀ bá dago 9 alẹ́ ní ó tó rántí pé magi tóun fẹ́ fi ṣe kọ̀ǹkọ̀ṣọ̀ fún ọmọ lọ school lọ́la, ohun èèrà ní ọba àrán ọmọ ọdún 12, ọmọbìnrin 12 years ní ó rán ní ṣọ́ọ̀bù ìlú Òdìkẹ́ bóyá 3rd Street láago 9 alẹ́. Tẹ́ mọ̀ pé gbogbo àwọn boys jàǹbórì tí wọ́n wà ní àdúgbò táìmù ilẹ̀ tí wọ́n ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ mọ̀ náà, aago 9 alẹ́ nílẹ̀ tí wọ́n ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ mọ̀, ìgbà náà wọ́n ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ bọ́ ọ̀tá pọ̀n fẹ́ jáde. We have to protect the girl child. Gbogbo tí bá ti ń dọwọ́ 6-7 rọ̀lẹ́, àgbùdọ̀ rán mọ́ jáde mọ́. Gbogbo téèyàn bá fẹ́ rà kéèyàn rà láti ìgboro. Àlè mọ́ ń ṣe dé tòrutòru anyhow. Nítorí pé the girl child is precious, the boy child is precious too. Wọ́n mọ́kàn ọmọ rógà fún ọ̀tọ́lúwa rẹ̀. All these things are necessary. And this thing we are saying is not only parent tó finú ẹ̀ bímọ. Any child in our custody, any ọmọ tó bá ti wà ní tàti lórí ọ̀fẹ́ àti jẹ́ pé ọ̀dọ̀ wa ló wà. All these things we owe the children. Àjẹwọ́n àhó wọn láwọn ẹ̀kọ́ wọ̀nyí. And as much as we repeat it to them, they will start seeing the importance. Nǹkan yìí ṣe pàtàkì. Tí ò bá ṣe pàtàkì, àní mọ̀ tẹnumọ́. Then stop laying curses on the children. Stop shouting on them or laying curses on them. If a child, or especially a girl child, is not comfortable staying with one uncle, you don't need to force that child to stay with the uncle. And me, ìmọ̀ reason táwọn parents mi ò fi ní dandan kọ́ ọmọ rẹ̀ dúró lọ́dọ̀ uncle. Ọmọ lòun ò lọ ọbẹ̀, ṣé dandan ni ẹ ti mọ ibi tọ́mọ ò fẹ́ lọ. The world is changing. The world is really changing. Oríṣiríṣi àwọn nǹkan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ nísìn, ó ń kọ́ wa wípé òpin ayé ó ti dé. Àwọn ọmọ wọ́n gbọ́dọ̀ wà protected. Ẹlòmíì báyìí nísìn ó ń bímọ jọ kò sì níṣẹ́. Kò ní choice ju kó lọ fọmọ yẹn hangi, kọ́mọ hangi ọmọ kiri. Ọmọ tẹ́lẹ̀ tó rẹ̀ fọmọ rẹ̀ sọ nínú ilé tiẹ̀. Dákun ṣe ẹran fúnra wọn náà gan ṣé ẹran gan wọ́n ti jẹ́ tọ́jú tiẹ̀ náà. Ẹni tí ó bá sì tọ́jú ọmọ rẹ̀ tí ó fọmọ ẹ lóúnjẹ kò ní fún un lọ́fẹ̀ẹ́. Ìsídà kan máa fọmọ ṣiṣẹ́ bí ẹrú kí wọ́n máa dà láàmú tàbí káwọn ẹ̀gbọ́n àdúgbò kan kí wọ́n máa ṣe bí ìpọ́n náà ràn mọ́ lọ títí tí wọ́n fi máa molest ọmọ ìwọ̀nba tó bá mọ̀ pé ìyá rẹ̀ lè bò òun ni ó yé ṣó yé abáyé nísìn. So we are now saying that let them be free with you so that they will be able to discuss anything with you, and the things you say to them you mind it. We speak the words of grace. Kì í ṣe àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ tí ọmọ discourage ọmọ. Don't impose things on them. Do not impose things on them. Nǹkan tí ọmọ bá ń ṣe tẹ́lẹ̀ tayọ̀tayọ̀ tó kàn déédéé change ìjọ kan tó lòun ò ṣe mọ́ tàbí tó gbélẹ̀. You ask the child what is wrong. Kì í ṣe pé àjàgbé mọ́mọ́ pé ọ̀ṣẹ́ ẹ̀hán wá ti ṣe ọ̀ṣẹ́ náà nù ọmọ tí you don't know the reason why the child's attitude today is different from what it was yesterday. Probably bóyá èèyàn kan ti ń jágbe mọ́, bóyá èèyàn kan ti ń intimidate ẹ̀, and the child want to talk to you so that he will be able to express his mind, or she will be able to express her mind. That's why we are saying we have to be free with our children. Now we have 4 types of parents. 4 types of parents. Àkọ́kọ́, we have the involved ones. Those ones are fully involved in the affairs of their children, or we call them intricate parents, or detailed. They have the detail of everything about their child, the academic performance, the health challenges, the emotional need of the child, financial need of the child, medical need of the child, everything, gbogbo ramification aspect of the life ọmọ in àwọn involved parents wà normal. Violator abikire àwọn orúkọ yìí powerful. Thank you for the roses. Show you what the detailed parents. Those ones are detailed. You cannot say anything about their child that they will not know. They know the mood swing of the child. They know when the child is menstruating. Tọ́mọ wọn bá ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ period, wọ́n mọ̀ ìgbà tó ṣe period last month, wọ́n mọ̀ ìgbà tó yẹ kó ṣe ti month yìí. These detailed parents we are talking about. They know everything about their child's health. They are fully involved, and nobody can lie to them about their children. These are the involved parents. We call them involved parents, or the intricate, or detailed, or complex parents. Those words are synonyms. Synonyms in the same meaning only. When they say the parent is fully involved, tó bá pe PTA meeting, they want to know the academic performance of their child. They want to know how the child is doing. If their child comes back to school with another book tí ò ń ṣe tiẹ̀, àbí pencil àbí biro tí ṣe tiẹ̀, the parents will identify it. Pé where did you see this biro? This is not the biro I gave you, or this is not the pencil I gave you. Involved parents. These ones are fully involved. They know the teacher that is teaching their children. In fact, they will even ask that what is the qualification of the teacher. And they want to know everything. The detailed parents. Then number 2, we have the unresponsible parents, or we call them uninvolved. These ones are not involved in the affairs of their children. They don't care where the child is. Àwọn tá a pè ní àwọn irresponsible or unresponsible, or those that are not involved yìí. Bẹ́ẹ̀ bá bí wọ́n pé bó lágbájá wà wọ́n náà mọ̀. Kódà kan sọ méèké lọmọ wọn lè ló ti ṣí lọ wọn mọ bí ó rìn gbọn mọ bí ọmọ wọn bá rọmọ wọn rí bàbá sí rí parí nù. Bọ̀dá kan lórí ọmọ kan lẹ́nu ọjọ́ mẹ́ta tí ń sun ṣọ́ọ̀bù wájú ṣọ́ọ̀bù ní lọmọ mọ́ sùn mọ́jú. Ọkùnrin lọmọ ọmọ ọdún 8 ni. Ṣọ́ọ̀bù ni ọmọ ń sùn. Bọ̀dá wà á mọ́ mọ́ wọn mú lọ ọ̀dọ̀ ìyá rẹ̀. Wọ́n tún ṣe mú lọ́dọ̀ ìyá rẹ̀ èpè ní ìyá rẹ̀ ń sẹ́. Ọmọ ọkùnrin for that matter. Ọmọ 8 years. Imagine kí irú ọmọ ń jóbìnrin. Ó máa wà vulnerable. That one can be categorized as the unresponsible ones, or the irresponsible parents. They don't care. One can be more Johnny. One of say pé kíní, they don't care. They don't have any feeling for I don't know, but these ones, they don't go to PTA meeting. They bá pe PTA wọn ní wá. Bẹ́ẹ̀ bá ní ọmọ ní ìdí kankan wọn ní dá yín lóhùn. These ones they are like the opposite of the involved one. Then number 3, the recommendatory or the advisory parents. The recommendatory parents. Àwọn eléyìí làwọn tó jẹ́ pé they are children, but they have also given birth to children. children ni wọ́n, ọmọdé ni wọ́n, bí àwọn náà ti wá wọ́n ti ní children just like àwọn teenagers tó máa ń bímọ yẹn. The child is a child already. Now òun náà ti wá lọ́mọ. So why do we call them recommendatory parents? Àníyàn tí a máa recommend nǹkan fọ́mọ, ọ̀nà tó yẹ pé wọ́n máa ń ṣe bí ẹ pé advice ọmọ, advice tí wọ́n sì ń fọ́mọ ìní ìsìn is a negative one. Bí a bá fún ọ lóyún tí ẹ bọ́ ọnu wọ́n tí ọ̀bọ ta ni wọ́n ti ń tẹ̀ ọ̀la wọ́n ti ń fọwọ́ ṣe kinní kan. Ọmọ tẹ́ ẹ̀kọ́ lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ tí tẹ́lẹ̀ lánàá tẹ́ ẹ wá feel pé ẹ fẹ́ impute ẹ̀kọ́ yẹn sínú ọpọlọ ẹ̀ in a negative way. You are recommending, in fact àwọn advisory parents yìí ni àwọn tó jẹ́ pé mọ nǹkan yẹn o, but they want to pretend as if they know it. If they attend PTA meeting gan tí a bá fagídí lọ ọbẹ̀ ẹ ti mọ̀ pọ́n yìí wọ́n fagídí jayé ni. Ìyá àjíkẹ́ ẹ káàbọ̀ mà, they want to bluff it. Wọ́n fẹ́ bluff pé àwọn mọ nǹkan wọn sì mọ nǹkan kan. So they will now be recommending things for you. You should have done it like this. You should have done it like this. Even tẹ́ bá ṣe nǹkan gan an lè ní bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe ṣe wọ̀n dá. And it's not as if they know, they don't know. They just want to hide their ignorance. But as a trained teacher or as a trained parent, you have already known that àwọn lè na them. Tẹ́ bá kíyèsí àwọn people yẹn, they are children that have given birth to children. Àwọn gan ò ní ẹ̀kọ́ lórí tán fẹ́ kọ́ ọmọ. Bẹ́ẹ̀ wọ́n ti mọ̀ pé tọ́mọ bá lọ ṣèṣekúṣe ọmọ máa lóyún. Bẹ́ẹ̀ instead kan pé ọmọ jókòó kán rọra digest gbogbo ẹ̀kọ́ yìí fún un. Wọ́n wá máa accuse ọmọ ntọ́mọ ò tí ì máa ṣe wọ́n ló ti ń ṣe. There are some children like that. Tẹ́kàn máa jágbe mọ́ ọmọ tẹ́ máa accuse ẹ̀. And the child has not done all these things you are saying he has done. Many of these advisory parents, their children are virgins. Bẹ́ẹ̀ wọ́n máa accuse ọmọ pé ó rìnrìn àrè. Bó ló ṣe mọ̀ pé ó rìnrìn àrè? Gbogbo àtàn tọ́ bọ̀ ìlà, gbogbo àtàn ṣe kinní kan, ìgbúdọ̀ rí ẹ o, ìgbúdọ̀ rẹ̀ nìkan kan mọ́. Ǹjẹ́ ẹ̀yin ti pè jókòó rí sọ ẹ̀kọ́ fún un nípa ara rẹ̀ àti nípa ìrìn àjò tó yẹ kó rìn? Tí ẹ̀kọ́ yẹn máa serve as template fún un so that tó bá rí the negative yóò tètè identify ẹ̀. Because bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe ń sọ ìsìn you are blackmailing the child. Ẹ̀ ń blackmail ẹ̀ ni. Blackmail ó lẹ́ ń ṣe fún ọmọ. Tẹ́ ẹ̀kọ́ lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ tí lánàá tẹ́kàn dédé rán accuse ẹ̀ lórí irọ́ lórí òfurufú. Nígbà tá a bá sọ fọ́mọ this is how to do, this is how to do. N tá a ti sọ fún yẹn ni ló máa serve as foundation tá a mọ̀ gùnlé tá a mọ̀ repeat fún tá a mọ̀ mold on fún ọmọ. Bẹ́ẹ̀ àwọn advisory recommendatory and advisory parents àwọn èèyàn wọn máa ṣe bí adviser ni. Àwọn ni wọ́n rè school ọmọ tí wọ́n rè bá tíṣà jà bẹ́ẹ̀. Àwọn ni wọ́n ní tíṣà ọ̀mọ̀wé. Àwọn ni tíṣà discipline ọmọ wọn tí wọ́n rè lu tíṣà wọn. Lóríṣiríṣi. They always want to prove a point and of course they don't know anything. Those are the third type. Then the fourth ones are the boarding parents. Àwọn tó wà boarding, àwọn tó fall sí category àwọn boarding parents yìí ni àwọn career people. Career woman or career man tó ṣe pé ní iṣẹ́ wọn ni wọ́n bá ti lọ láàárọ̀ ó dalẹ́ tọ́mọ bá ti school dé gan yóò tún lọ resume sí after school ní ó wà di bí aago 9 alẹ́ kọ́mọ wọ uniform láti 7:30 láàárọ̀ ó ṣe pé aago 9 alẹ́ ni ó tó bọ́ uniform nígbà ó bá wá imú gan yóò ti mọ́ tó rùgbé ó tún dijọ́ kejì ó tún lọ. Those ones are boarding. Àwọn parents ló pé boundary orí wọn pọ̀ wọ́n lówó lọ́wọ́ because they are career people of course and career àwọn ó ń fún wọn ní owó. So as much as that they have money. Owó tí wọ́n dẹ̀ níyẹn wọ́n ti believe pé that money can take care of gbogbo àwọn needs àwọn ọmọ àwọn. Once táwọn bá kàn sáti make owó kó wà available the child will be okay, which is wrong. The attention that the child needs, your presence, your wants that the child needs, money cannot do that one. Even if you pay that money for somebody, that person will still have his own weakness and his own prejudice and biasness. Tí ó fi train ọmọ ṣé gbogbo ọ̀n tí ọmọ ṣe house master náà boarding school ṣé gbogbo ọ̀n ọmọ mójú tọ́mọ ni ọmọ tí ọgán tí ọbí mú wọn ní táìmù fún. So the boarding parents, and these boarding parents, they can be easily identified. If you are a teacher, you will know the category of the parents of each of the students you are teaching. Àwọn tó wà involved nínú life ọmọ wọn the involved parents or the complex one. Oh, you cannot mark the script of their child anyhow. Imagine a couple waiting for years to have a child. They come and put that child in your custody. You can't mark that child's script anyhow. Tó bá kọ nǹkan bí ṣe lọ mark ẹ̀ dáadáa ni wọ́n mú script ń padà wá fún ọ pé the teacher should mark it. Those ones are fully involved. Ṣé àwọn boarding parents kì í ṣe pé wọn ò fẹ́ wá involve nínú wọn àfi àṣì ọmọ wọn, but kíní wọn ò jẹ́ kárí àwọn ò jẹ́ because they are overburdened. They have a lot of burden in their heart, and their work, their duty, their busy schedule kò jẹ́ kán ráyè. So àwọn sọ fún wa pé out of these 4 tá a mention yìí, the involved, the unresponsive àbí unresponsible la pè ní, or àwọn unresponsive yẹn a tún lè pè wọ́n ní lackadaisical. It is synonyms, the same word, the same meaning. Then the third one, àwọn the recommendatory ones, then the bothering one. As of my pé the first one yẹn la gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́, the very first one yẹn la gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́, which is the involved parents. Those ones are the ones that are 100% involved in the affairs of their children. We must be involved, whether a boy child or a girl child. The parents must know the friend of his children or of your child. O gbọ́dọ̀ mọ ọ̀rẹ́ tí àwọn ọmọ rẹ ní. O gbọ́dọ̀ mọ àwọn tí wọ́n jọ ń sọ̀rọ̀, especially when a child is growing from childhood to puberty to adolescence, because that is the time tí peer pressure máa ń dé. Thank God for all these education things, private part, public part, good thought, bad thought. If the child is able to scale through those stages in life, ó ti bọ́ sí teenage age, then you must know, let the child know that you love them. You understand? So let them know, kí àwọn ọmọ mọ̀ pé àwọn wà loved. The girl child should be prepared that the boys will start making advances to her. Then how to respond? This one is for puberty and adolescence. It could be a topic for another day. Don't forget that Eta and Sheyi is for children, strictly children, toddlers to the age of like 6 or 10. Now, the child must know that there is love at home. Torí nǹkan tó yẹ kó máa rí nílé, tí ò bá rí nílé, tó wá lọ rí níta. As much as bó ṣe rí níta yẹn, ó máa feel pé òun ti dé paradise ni. Yóò rò pé paradise ló ń wá yìí. But the child will not know that he or she is being carried away or driven away by deception. So that is why we are saying that the child must be able to feel love, must be able to know that love exists right from the house, so that all these things will stick to the brain of the child. And as much as the child grows, the mother or the parents must be prepared to buy things, especially for the girl child. You buy pad, you buy sanitary towel, and even if you don't want the child to use pad for his monthly period or a monthly period, you buy sanitary towel, train. Then you buy detergents, you buy Dettol, you buy soap, you buy all these things, because these are the things that our mama need. Tí wọ́n fi lọ mọ́ sá kójókójó tẹ̀lé táwọn ní wọ́n ní boyfriend, because what the parents supposed to provide, he doesn't provide it. I pray God Almighty will help us. So all these things are very, very important. There are things that we have to repeat and reiterate, even as much as we talk about it for the girl child. Even ọmọ tó bá resume sínú ilé wa lẹ́nìí, bóyá by virtue of any reason, bóyá gba ọmọ yẹn tọ́ ni, àbí bóyá ọmọ yẹn ó kàn ṣáà lórí ọ̀fẹ́ àti wà ní custody wa, please let us teach them all of this. There was a time I taught some set of children this, and I've taught them, they have known it. And sometimes myself and the mother, we were discussing, and she was worried that àwọn ọmọ tí kọ́ àwọn ọmọ yìí ní nǹkan kan lórí ọ̀rọ̀ gbogbo àwọn nǹkan yìí. I said I have taught them. So I have to call one of them. I started asking him, ọkùnrin tí ẹ̀ tó wá lóhùn lè tó wà láàárín ní táìmù ìgbà tí wọ́n ń sọ̀rọ̀ yẹn, pé what are the 2 divisions of the body part? Say private part and public part. What are the why is it that some parts are private? He said because nobody must see it, play with it, or touch it. What are the private parts for boys? What are the private part of girls for girls? What are the 2 types of touch? Everything is in the brain of the boy. And the mother was surprised. So this thing, when did you have time to teach them? Anytime I have time, I teach. because time is always available. It all depends on how we use it. So please, all these things are very, very important. And when the child had known, the child grows, then the child will be able to know that this knowledge will continue to serve as a foundation, that even when the child grows to adulthood, the child will be able to know the importance of his own body part or her own body part and how to protect and preserve it. So ẹ ṣeun gan, ẹ má jẹ́ kí a gbàgbé, gẹ́gẹ́ bá ṣe sọ lẹ́ẹ̀kan, iléeṣẹ́ Ọ̀yọ́ Model Alternative Therapy, iléeṣẹ́ Ọ̀yọ́ Model Alternative Therapy, mo sọ fún wa pé àgbo fún àwa tá a bá nílò àgbo fún ìtọ́jú ara wa fún oríṣiríṣi àrùn, either candidiasis, gonorrhea, staphylococcus, etc. gbogbo àwọn àrùn, bóyá àrùn ilé ìgbọ̀nsẹ̀ àbí àrùn ìbálòpọ̀ àbí àwọn nǹkan tó jẹ́ àìsàn ara tá a ti wò wípé a lè lo àgbo sí tí yóò sì lọ. Wọ́n ní what is the update about that woman? Ṣé àti ìrí update ìyá Àjíkẹ́ Adé? In fact, èèyàn kan sì wá WhatsApp mi lánàá náà pé kí ni update. Ṣé ẹ mọ̀ pé nǹkan tí máa ń ṣẹlẹ̀ ni pé ẹ jẹ́ n parí advert tí mo ń ṣe. Ọ̀yọ́ Model Alternative Therapy, àgbo fún obìnrin, àgbo fún ọkùnrin, àgbo fún àwọn àgbàlagbà, àwọn arúgbó, àtọmọdán, àtọmọ kékeré. Àwa tá a bá nílò láti ṣe àlàyé, bóyá a need consultation, a fẹ́ rí dókítà tó mọ̀ nípa tewétegbò fún ìtọ́jú ara, ẹ já kàn sí iléeṣẹ́ Ọ̀yọ́ Model Alternative Therapy. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni, àwa bàbá nílò àgbo gan, tá a bá complain fún wọn, hàn ní sọ pé àtòrí ipá fẹ́ tàgbo kí wọ́n máa recommend àgbo. Ẹlòmíì rest ló need, kọ́kàn rest kó sùn kó sì ṣe exercise. Ẹ já kàn sí wọn, ẹ já consult wọn, tá a bá ti sọ fún wọn, tá a ṣàlàyé àwọn nǹkan tí ṣe ń ṣe wá, wọ́n recommend tó bá yẹ ká lò fún wa. Àsì rà wọ́n wé bíìlì ẹ̀sì ayé ti lu jára, kò sí wàhálà kankan. 080 68 22 0707 080 6822 0707 iléeṣẹ́ Ọ̀yọ́ Model Alternative Therapy là ń pè. So ìyá Àjíkẹ́ Adé, so bó ṣe jánu omi tí ẹ̀ mọ́ bá ṣe àmọ́ pé tá a bá ti wà lórí live stream báyìí, as much as we are on live stream, iye àwọn èèyàn tá a bá ní lónìí lórí live stream, iye wọn kọ́ la máa ní lórí live stream lọ́la. We keep having different set of people, which is very, very understandable rather, because ẹni tó wà ní tó off níbi iṣẹ́ lẹ́nìí ó lè má off lọ́la, ẹni tó wà online lẹ́nìí ó lè má wà online lọ́la, ẹni ó ní data lẹ́nìí ó lè má ráyè lọ́la. So we keep having different group of people. Ẹ wò gbà tá a ṣe topic tá a ṣe lè oná la ṣe last week Friday. In fact, ọ̀tọ̀ ní topic tí mo fẹ́ treat lẹ́nìí, bẹ́ẹ̀ ọlá pé mo ti gbá àwọn ará TikTok wọlé tán ti ní òkè lẹ́nìí já treat, mo ṣe treat ẹ̀. So the reason nìyẹn mà, bá a ṣe pọ̀ lọ́jọ́ tó wá share story ẹ̀ yẹn, ní orí ọ̀fẹ́ àtún ti rí àwọn èèyàn tó ń kójọ bá mọ́, sì lè máa tó máa repeat story yẹn. So I don't know what to do. Though I've told her that we are working on it, mi ìgbàgbé rẹ̀. In fact, one of the people tó ń join yẹn pé àwọn fẹ́ ràn lọ́wọ́, mo ṣe tún lọ wá profile ẹni yẹn lórí TikTok ni mo sáà send message sí wọn pé tó wọ́n mọ tẹ́ ẹ ní ẹ fẹ́ bá wa support. Then there is one mommy tí mo copy link fídíò ẹ̀ yẹn sí táwọn náà gbọ́. Ìyá yẹn sì pè mí lánàá, àbíjọ́ wo mo ṣe kíní tí mo ṣe yìí náà, torí mo lọ ra tí màá fi ṣe nǹkan yẹn ni ìyá yẹn ni mo ka voice note wọn. I think it was probably yesterday, I don't know. So ni mo ka voice note wọn tán ní how far about the girl. So I want to believe that probably bóyá a tún máa restage show fún náà ni, but àwọn tán bá gbọ́ story yẹn kò sí wọ́n ṣe fẹ́ mọ tán wí. So that is the update. We have not been able to do anything on our case. Iléeṣẹ́ Landness Homes and Properties, gbogbo àwa tá a fẹ́ ra lẹ̀ ní Nàìjíríà, especially àwa tá a wà lókè òkun tá a fẹ́ ra property sílé, ẹ já pé iléeṣẹ́ Landness Homes and Property 090 66 98 98 77 090 66 98 98 77. Digital Boss Academy, ilé ìwé tí wọ́n ti ń kọ́ wa ní online work. Gbogbo àwọn tá a wá mọ́ bá mi pé a fẹ́ ṣe content creation, a fẹ́ ṣe video editing, Digital Boss Academy, ibẹ̀ ni ẹja enroll. A bá lọ enroll ńbẹ̀, gbogbo ẹ̀ ni wọ́n kọ́ a, gbogbo bá a ṣe lè ṣe affiliate marketing, bá a ṣe lè make owó online, bá a ṣe lè generate different streams of income online, instead tí àwa náà kàn máa ra data mo pé as much as a bá ṣe ra data ọmọ ọjọ́ ó bá ṣe ra data yẹn you can use that data to do productive thing tó tún máa generate owó fún wa. Digital Boss Academy +447 3972 43242 +447 3972 43242. iléeṣẹ́ Lilac Herbs Nigeria Limited bákan náà iléeṣẹ́ tí wọ́n mọ̀ nípa àgbo ni fún àwa tá a bá fẹ́ rí wọn tá a bá tó bẹ́ẹ̀ pé we want to go in person. Wọ́n wà ní Port Harcourt, wọ́n wà ní Abuja, wọ́n wà l'Ákúrẹ́, wọ́n wà l'Ékìtì, wọ́n wà káàkiri. Tá a bá ti pe nọ́mbà wọn tá a bá bá wọn sọ̀rọ̀ lórí WhatsApp ibi tó bá jẹ́ ní àbáyé branch office wọn sí ibi táwa wà you can go and see them. 08159405621. Then àwa tá a bá fẹ́ ṣe advertisement ẹ jọ̀ọ́ let's come and meet me on my WhatsApp. Gbogbo èèyàn ló mọ WhatsApp number mi. WhatsApp number mi wà lórí platform mi. Yóò wá bẹ́yìn. WhatsApp number mi wà lórí platform mi. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ jẹ́ kí ẹ jẹ́ á pè mí so that tàbí ká bá mi sọ̀rọ̀ lórí WhatsApp. Ẹ mọ́ pè mí o, mi ò kí ń gbé kọ́ọ̀lù o torí kọ́ mọ́ ń pọ̀ lórí line mi. So we thank God for the success of today's Friday class. Then mo dẹ̀ sọ fún wa nípa àwọn aṣọ tí mo ń tà. Though mo ti ń ráwọn èèyàn kọ̀ọ̀kan tí wọ́n ti ń wá WhatsApp. The majority àwọn tán ń wá àwọn tán fẹ́ rà tán fẹ́ máa lò ní tí ì ṣe yí pé bóyá wọ́n fẹ́ tún tà. Ṣé mo oríṣiríṣi market wọ́n ti ń ta àwọn aṣọ nísìn tẹ́ pé if you want to buy bale, you want to buy half bale or slot or whatever, you understand, but at least you can still buy from here and I have samples tí màá send sí wa ní WhatsApp. Gbogbo àwọn tí wọ́n máa ń tọrọ urgent 2k tọrọ urgent 3k yẹn instead ẹ fi máa send urgent 2k sí wọn ẹ kúkú dán lókòwò wọ́n bá ṣe 50,000 àbélò kan lẹ bá send sí wọn they can buy and resell. Bàbá Ọ̀yọ́ model ẹ ṣé mo dúpẹ́, thank you sir. Ṣé mọ̀ wọ́n rà wọ́n tún tà nígbà táwọn ilé ìfijó tó kalẹ̀ tí wọn ò ní ṣe nǹkan kan. So it is well with us. Ọlọ́run ó mọ̀ pẹ̀lú wa. Ọ̀yọ́ model alternative therapy ẹ kàn sí wọn gẹ́gẹ́ bá a ti sọ ọ̀rọ̀ kágbọ̀n kò ní ìdí repetition. Gbogbo ilé iṣẹ́ tó ṣe pé gbogbo àgbo wọn náà èèyàn rà tí ń lò tí ń bọ́ ọ láàmú Nàìjíríà àti lókè òkun. Ẹ̀dá kùn bẹ́ẹ̀ bá ti mọ ibi tí ń lọ tó sì ti mọ ọ̀nà tí ó gbàdé bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣé àmọ̀ pé kó mú ní àjòpọ̀ náà ni. Àjíǹde arọ́ ọmọ jẹ́ ànífàìsàn lùgbà. Ẹja pé 08068220707. A sì lè wá wo caption program yìí lórí Facebook ó wà lórí caption nọ́mbà wọn wà níbẹ̀. So títí ọjọ́ mẹ́jọ láti máa pàdé lórí Friday chat wa. Ẹ ṣé gan, thank you for joining me. Àti lo 1 hour 44 minutes tó tiẹ̀ wá yá wa lẹ́nu Friday chat wa ń gbà mí báyìí ìmọ̀ gùn ni mi ìmọ̀ bóyá àwọn èèyàn tiẹ̀ fẹ́ join mi. Àwọn wo náà wà ní TikTok? J Square, Ìyá Àjíkẹ́, Just Call Me Lakeside. Anyway kò sí rẹpẹtẹ kò sí rẹ because kò kí ń ṣe àwọn controversial topic la ṣe lénìí. It's just sex education for little kids, so there might not be much contribution, addition, subtraction or interaction. So it is well with us. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ bá mi share fídíò yìí àwa tá wà lórí Facebook ẹ bá ń share YouTube ẹ bá ń share link iṣẹ́ yẹn then àwa tá wà lórí TikTok náà ẹ bá ń power tap ó kẹ́ pé ẹ lè rí live replay wò lórí TikTok ni orí Facebook lẹ ti lè wá wò èmi tí mo jẹ́ host èmi ni mo lè rí wò èmi ni mo lè rí live stream yẹn wò and within 30 days náà ni. After 30 days, they will bring it down. Ẹ ṣeun sí for real game. So it is well with us o. Àwa náà láàmú wá ẹ̀yin láàmú bá. Ọlọ́run ò ní jẹ́ kí wọ́n fi ẹlòmíì ṣá o. Àjíǹde aró máa jẹ́. Ẹ ṣeun gan. Bye bye. Ṣé ẹ gbàgbé kí